Hey, it's Tim with my wife Heather here with Pickup Truck Plus SUV Talk. I'm in a 2021 Chevy Tahoe and I got a question for you. My question for you is this an awesome cutting edge system that we have back here in the rear seat entertainment, or is it a pile of what comes out of the back side of a north facing bull? Yeah, that stuff. So I've been doing a lot of research online. I actually got really frustrated about it and went and did some Facebook to a community and asked them questions too. So before I get to that, let's describe what we have here. So this is the new 2021. This is the new setup. These are two screens back here. We have them both on. These screens are controlled. There's some controls up front, and then there's some USB-Cs. There's two USB-Cs and two HDMIs down there. Now the idea with these screens is, and this what got me, is there's no DVD player. There's no built-in DVD player, no Blu-ray, no nothing. Everything in this vehicle is meant to be streamed, and so it's all digital. And so the idea is you take like your phone, like my wife has her Android, and she can take her Android phone and she can use Miracast, which we found this new app. We have to start the vehicle, or at least have the accessory power on. We have to make sure that we're connected to Wi-Fi, so the Wi-Fi of the vehicle, which means if you want to use these screens, you have to have Wi-Fi in the vehicle, so that's $20 a month. So there you go for that. You have to make sure that you have your Miracast downloaded, and you have to make sure that you're able, well, to use that system. Like, you can't be back here, 3 or 4 and using this system. You have to have somebody back here who can use the system and get it set up. Now, you can share the screens with one person, but you need somebody back here to be able to do it. So she's going to take your system, her phone, and so if you click on whatever her app is.
So on mine, on Samsung, it already is built in. It's called Smart View. So when you click on Smart View, it has it going. Then I click on Miracast, and then I have to wait for it to recognize the rear seat video, and it takes a little bit.
And for what we understand, you have to do this every time. Every time you want to do something, this is the system you have to use. Now, there's a couple different ways to do this, but she's working on hers, and so there it goes. It pulls up.
So it says rear seat, so I'm going to click on that. I'm going to say start now. And then on the screen it says, yeah, connect to Heather's phone, so I'm going to hit OK. And again, more connecting.
Okay.
So there's the screen. Ooh.
So yeah, so there's her screen, and basically she can take and she can mirror the screen and hit a video and do all that kind of stuff, and she can play a video, she can play YouTube on her screen. So
it just moves my phone up to the larger screen.
Right. So it's the same thing. It does the same thing with their phone, just mirrors it, and so it's on the screen. Okay, so that is how that works. Now, I would show you how this works on my iPhone, but iPhone doesn't currently work. As of the date of this video, on the videos I've seen, and on the forums I've seen, and on the owner's manual and stuff, it's Samsung and LG phones can do the Miracast. The iPhone doesn't work. I've even tried plugging in the USB-C. I've downloaded 3 different Miracast apps on my cell phone. Can't get it to work. So the other thing that you have to think about here connecting to is you can bring, say, in this case, the video I saw, this guy took an Apple TV, hooked up HDMI, hooked up his cable to his cell phone, and with both cables hooked up and the Apple TV device, which I'll show you a picture on the screen, he was able to watch Apple TV through his screen on the bigger navigation screen here, the bigger 12-inch screen back here in the rear seat. But he had to have both devices hooked up. He had them both hooked up, had to pair it, had to go through those steps to get there. He even said in the video, and this guy's a salesman for GM, he said it was kind of a pain in the butt to get through. He's a salesman at a dealership. Another thing you can do is you can hook up an Xbox. And I was talking to the people online, and they've hooked up Xboxes in this because you have HDMI, you have power. There is a household power hookup below the center console. Now, with that setup though, you have to make sure there's a button on the front, which I'll show here in a minute. You have to make sure the button is turned on to turn on the power back here. And you have to turn off the auto start stop on this vehicle. This vehicle's got an auto start stop mode, which means at stop signs, it kills the engine. When it kills the engine, you lose power back here. So if your kid's playing Minecraft and you forget to turn that on, or turn it off, you pull up to a stop sign, he loses his game. Guess how happy your kid's gonna be? Yeah, not very happy at all. So and the other thing the guy said online was with his kids, he's got them back here. With the Xbox, they're always tripping over the HDMI cables and they're snapping those cables. And somebody else piped up and said, hey, you can get the 90-degree HDMI hookups, and that way the cable goes down. Because now look at this, and you can see it. So like my wife and I's legs are right here, and there's a power cord, right? But you know, we're right here, sitting right there. You can see if the Xbox is sitting right in here, and somebody wants to throw their bag in the back, like third row, I mean, that's a trip hazard right there all day long. And maybe it's my other concern as being a dad. I now, with this Xbox in here, I have a 20-pound projectile now in case of an accident, can go flying. So I don't know. I think you can clearly tell where I stand on this. I just really have a lot of concerns on this setup. And one of the guy online made a very good point. He said, he goes, I got the Tahoe. I think Yukon has it as well. I think Suburban's got the same screen. I have that screen, and he goes, I'd rather not even use it. He goes, by the time my kids get something hooked up and get something going, it serves no purpose. And for them, if you have your phone right there or your tablet, they're just going to watch their tablet instead. Like my kids were here that were in the vehicle yesterday. They just watched their Kindle. They didn't pay attention to these screens. They didn't even turn them on. They didn't care about them because they had the Kindle right in front of them. So I just really wonder about this setup, and I really think about like the customer for this. Like, we're both parents of kids that are 8 and 11. I was a stay-at-home dad with my kids. I can't imagine having this vehicle when the kids were infants. Holy cow. What a pain in the butt that'd be. You have to stop, get this all set up, and you have to control it, I guess, with your cell phone. If you have the right brand of cell phone, picking the movies for them. People online have talked about how they've been able to take a USB-C video and take a USB-C or USB and be able to put some videos on it. If you do a certain process, you can get those to work. Some people talked about a Fire Stick. You can do a plug-in.
You can do a Fire Stick. I'd be curious to see if the remote worked or if it would make the Fire Stick resemble your TV since you're connected to the Wi-Fi of the car. Because there's no receiver on here for any kind of remote, I'm thinking it would just make the Fire Stick screen touchable. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's what I was reading about, is if you have a Roku or if you have a Fire Stick or if you have anything that plugs into the back of your TV, you could, in essence, because of the HDMI, just plug it in here.
Yeah, and there are wireless headphones. So you could plug it in there, wireless headphones, and if you had that system working, you could make it work. I don't know. Again, I just wonder about why would you plug something additionally in to that when you're just going to carry around your cell phone or your Kindle or iPad anyways. I don't understand why you'd mirror that. But, and I guess the last point I think about is Grandma and Grandpa. They buy a brand new Tahoe, want to take the grandkids for the weekend, and guess what they got to figure out? I mean, I don't know if you got some older grandparents, but I'm telling you, that'd be an enormous pain in the butt. So, I don't know. Cutting edge, sure. I mean, this is something completely different. People keep telling me this is the way the future of everything's going online. This is the first time I've ever seen this in a press vehicle. I get 70 vehicles a year. I've never seen this before. Typically, we have a DVD player, DVD screen, plug in the movie, you put in your disc, and you're rolling,
That's what Cody did yesterday.
Yeah.
He ran out, saw the TVs, ran back inside, grabbed a movie, and was disappointed because he couldn't watch his movie.
Yeah, so we spent 20 minutes yesterday trying to get a movie to play so we could drive 20 minutes to get haircuts. And I tried to get the Kindles to charge because, of course, all their Kindles are dead. Like, if you have kids, their technology is always dead. And with the USB-Cs up here, they couldn't plug in their Kindles because they don't have that type of port on their Kindles. So, from my standpoint, it's like you spend $68,000 on this Tahoe, and the first thing you need to do is get on Amazon, order new cables. I mean, or have the latest technology. And I'm sorry, but I don't always buy the latest technology, and my kids don't have the latest technology because I'm not buying them $500 iPads.
Oh, heck no. $50 Black Friday sale.
Yeah, absolutely. And the whole argument I've heard online is like, well, if you can afford $68,000, you can afford to buy your kids iPads. Well, that's a load of bull. Because it's like, it's not just this customer who's buying this now. It's not just the 2021. So you go to buy a used Tahoe in 3 years from now for $30-some thousand at that point when it drops, and now it's like, hey, you got to go spend more money if you don't have the latest technology. Now everybody's like, the future is going to be USB-Cs. That's the way it's going to be. I still carry both cables with me, and I travel throughout the country, and I still carry my regular USB and a USB-C. I don't carry just USB-Cs because you don't know what you have running into. So I don't know. I got to tell you, overall, I was really excited to get this Tahoe, and I still like it. I still like the design. I still like what I have, but boy, this just really frustrates the crap out of me. I mean, I just really had a lot of concerns. I even had, like I said, so much of concern. I went on Facebook and I put a message up to ask people if they had concerns, and the number one comment came back. They're like, "What do you mean there's no DVD player? What do you mean no DVD player?" And I searched online, and people are like, that there's tons of articles where people have made it work. They've adapted to it. They've downloaded this app, or it's like they bought this cable with the iPhone that connects to a HDMI. Then they plug the HDMI into the HDMI hookup, and then they're able to stream through the screen. How is that evolving ahead? I'm so mystified by this. And this, by the way, is $2,500 option. It's $2,500 for this setup that you have to do all these steps to adapt to it to make it work. I'll tell you what, I'm buying the kids Kindles that they're just going to hold in their hands and use for a lot less money. Yeah. Okay, so let me move up there with my wife. There is a front screen here that allows you to change some things. And I did some searching on this. Oh, and this is the plug button for back there. You got to make sure that's on if you have a Xbox or whatever you're going to use back there. And this is the auto start stop. You got to make sure this turns off every single time. Auto start off. This is turns on and turns off. This screen here, if I can do it with the sun, this allows you to control the back screens. You can actually select which screen's playing. You can move the screens around. You can share it both screens, and there's a way you can share. You can share the audio as well. So you can click and have the audio be played on this screen. But that's the video I've seen. There's stuff up here as well. There we go. Comment below. What do you think? Am I being cranky? Am I being a boomer? I got called a boomer. Some dude called me a boomer, and I was literally 4 years older than he was. Yeah, I got called a boomer. That was funny. So, comment below. What are you guys thinking? Am I full of it? Is this a great system, cutting edge? This is the way it's got to be. I'm telling you right now, I'm not going to use it anymore because it's too frustrating to me. Check this other video out over here. It's a good time. Website down below. As always, thanks for watching. We will see you down the road.